All right, we're back. Welcome to KSAT News Now, streaming from the KSAT 12 newsroom in beautiful downtown San Antonio. It's been a very nice morning, actually.
Good morning.
Good morning. Erica's hanging out with us this morning.
Finally get to. My voice is finally returning.
You do sound a lot better. As someone that's been your desk neighbor, yes, it's been a rough
I was supposed to do this with you this last week with you.
Right, yeah.
But I couldn't even whisper.
Yeah. Well, you sound a lot better, 10 times better. And you're also coming off a very successful live stream launching Texas Crime Stories. So talk a little bit about that experience. How cool was that?
So we had an exclusive KSAT Insiders event last night, Lee and I, and it was fantastic. We gave them a look at the first episode, which officially comes out next Tuesday, but it was really awesome to engage with those insiders, talk about why we do this podcast, and also share with them that first episode. So it was really good to see so many people interested in true crime.
Oh, well, absolutely, yeah. It is our most popular podcast that we have right now at KSAT 12, and you guys have done an incredible job with it. And I saw a little bit of it, so I need to wait a little bit till it comes out to like everyone else. But I got a chance to see some of it and your live stream yesterday, and I was already like enthralled with it. I think it's the case of Julian Pesina, the Balcones Heights police officer.
Who was murdered and ended up having a double life and was part of the Texas Mexican Mafia. So we get to talk to a gang expert about this, and we dive into this case that caught a lot of us here. I know we were both here at the time when it happened.
Yeah, remember
how we were just kind of like, wait, what happened?
Yes.
Why? Oh, and then you find out his background and how he was living a double life. So it's a case that many know about. It's the first of many cases now that we've rebranded as Texas Crime Stories.
There we go.
So we're going all over the state now.
Yeah, pretty cool stuff there. So yeah, make sure to check that out, Texas Crime Stories. And again, just you guys are starting off with a really, really interesting story for sure. Speaking of crime, as we get to KSAT News Now, so a taqueria that was the scene of a vigilante shooting is back in the news today. We'll explain that.
Yeah, and we're getting close to the historic return of the SPURS to the Alamo Dome.
Go Spurs.
That's amazing. What city and team officials are saying about what you could expect. This is going to be a record-breaking crowd.
Yeah, and they just announced some more information on attendance, so it's going to get even bigger than what they originally planned. So there's going to be a lot going on at the Alamo Dome tomorrow. Plus, you soon will not have to go very far to visit Universal Studios.
This is exciting.
Yeah, I know for you. Got the kiddos.
Yeah. Especially because it's supposed to be very family friendly.
Yes.
So I'm excited to see what they build out there. And plus Justin. I'm not excited for Justin right now. He's probably got more Cedar bad news, so I'm not about it.
Don't blame the messenger.
I always blame Justin. It's his fault. But he's here and he'll join us with the weather forecast.
Justin's a good guy sometimes. Sometimes he's a good guy. Yeah, we see him back there. He's smiling. But let's go ahead and start with some news here. First of all, starting with embattled City Councilman Clayton Perry returning to City Council this week.
Yeah, Perry had been on a leave of absence since he was charged with misdemeanor DWI and failure to provide information for his self-admitted role in a November 6 hit-and-run crash.
That's right. Perry has not been convicted, which means that he can still continue his role on the city council. But of course, he was back at the meeting this morning.
Yes.
And Mayor Ron Nirenberg turned the time over to Perry to allow him to make a statement.
Yeah, Perry says he was glad to be back and has a lot to be thankful for and asked for everyone's compassion and forgiveness. Now, that's just a little of what he said. Garrett Berninger is out there now. He'll be covering this story today and have a full report later this afternoon. But it is interesting to see him back already, especially after those charges came out. And to see even if he's going to run for re-election, because that's coming up in May.
Yeah, and actually that was something that I know Garrett caught him right before he went into B session this morning, and the councilman was not answering a lot of questions. Garrett did ask him if he was going to run for re-election, and Councilman Perry just kind of stayed pretty quiet on that. Kind of just ignored some of the questions, said that he would give all of his sort of answers in that statement that he had prepared.
It's something we will continue to follow. I mean, it is a story here locally that's gotten a lot of attention, especially as these charges and his court dates start to play out, see what really happens to Councilman Perry.
Yeah, and of course has not been convicted. And interesting, since that came out about the charge, there was also news that came out about TABC also investigating the establishment there.
Yes.
He was accused of drinking 14 drinks in 4 hours. So definitely a busy day there at City Council today.
Yes. On to other news. A Houston taqueria that's been in the news lately hit again with crime.
Yeah, this is pretty crazy here. So the owner of the restaurant says his place was burglarized on Tuesday, and this comes just days after the restaurant received national attention after a vigilante customer shot and killed a robber inside on January 5th, and that's the video that you see right now on our visual platforms.
Yeah, the owner told local TV stations that the thief stole cash and broke 3 poker machines. Pedro Lopez says it's gotten so bad they started taking home their money after each day because of the incidents, but no one has been injured.
Yeah, none of the staff or the owner himself have not been hurt. So the incident that made national headlines at the taqueria is still under investigation. Now, police question the shooter in that case. He gunned down the robber, and that case was then transferred to a grand jury. So there's just a lot going on.
Yeah, so when it gets transferred to a grand jury, it could be any day that we hear if charges will be filed against that man. That video is very telling. It's very hard to watch.
Yeah.
We do get a chance and want to see the whole thing. There's a lot of questions that need to be answered, and it'll be very interesting as far as law, if they do file charges, what that means.
Yeah, it was a very polarizing video. A lot of people were sort of divided on the action that vigilante, what they're calling a vigilante shooter, should have taken there in that case. And again, just a string of bad luck for this owner here, this taqueria. I think one of the quotes that he gave one of the TV stations there says that there was a death here and not even that stops them, referring to criminals burglarizing his restaurant. So hopefully their luck kind of changes, and as you mentioned, still following that other case.
Exactly. Are you a fan of Universal Studios? I know we like to go to Disney, but what about Universal Studios?
You know what? When I worked at Disney, I went a lot more than what I've gone in the past couple of years. No, pretty much just kind of stick with the Disney theme parks there. You know, the wife kind of makes those calls.
Not RJ. Well, Universal Studios is getting a little closer.
There we go.
They have made a huge announcement. They are now plans to develop a new family-focused theme park in Frisco. Here's a little rendering of what it should look like.
Yeah, this is pretty cool news here. So the 100-acre entertainment hub in Frisco will include 4 to 5 themed lands, as well as a hotel that will house 300 rooms. So it looks like they have like a lazy river there, and
yeah,
just
apparently
a
it's
whole
supposed
resort.
to be like a boat ride that's going to go through the resort. The theme park will be designed for younger audiences with family-friendly attractions, shows, and character meet and greets.
Pretty cool stuff there. Okay, I heard there might be a SpongeBob land, so that may actually get me.
My daughter would love that.
Really?
Liana loves SpongeBob.
Oh, okay. So they were talking about SpongeBob. I think that's one of the lands, potentially. So this announcement came that the same day that Universal said it has plans to bring a horror-themed entertainment experience to none other than Las Vegas. Las Vegas already got a lot of weird stuff. Yeah, but that would be pretty interesting.
Now, officials did not say what the park will be called or when it plans to open, but it will take a few years to complete it. I'm a little excited about this. I think this is going to be a great place. I've been to Universal in LA, and it will be, I loved it, you know, and I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, but I enjoyed that park. They have the Stinson area. They didn't have the SpongeBob one there, but that will be cool here. I know my husband is excited if they bring a Super Mario Land, which is being added.
That'd be pretty cool.
I think they have one in Japan, and I think they're adding one in the LA one. So that will be interesting to see if that's part of that setup.
It's been years since I went to the Universal in California. I did go a couple of times, like I said, when I was working for Disney in Orlando to the Islands of Adventure Park there. And I remember at the time a lot of their rides, their attractions were very much geared towards a little bit older people, older crowds. Jurassic Park is also one of the most
popular Harry Potter
ones.
ones are like older teens.
Yeah, so yeah, that'll still be pretty cool to check out.
And our producer Robert just said it'll be about 4 years for that to open.
Okay, yeah, but hey, Universal.
The kids will still be little. I'll still go.
Here we go. You're just gonna go for yourself.
Don't.
Yeah. All right, moving on here. So Spurs fans, you guys have done it. Shout out to the 210 the city of San Antonio. The team is now set to break the all-time attendance record. This is tomorrow during their return to the Alamo Dome.
The Spurs just announced they have sold more than 64,000 tickets for the game against the Golden State Warriors, and they are releasing additional tickets that are standing room only on the floor.
Yeah,
Now,
this is really, really cool. So the city is encouraging its fans attending the game to plan ahead and arrive early to avoid traffic and parking issues. Doors there opening all in 2 hours before the game at 4:30.
and that is also to help with the traffic flow, I'm
Yeah.
assuming. Now, the game is expected to tip off at 6:30. Parking at the Dome will be by permit only. City officials advise fans take advantage of ride sharing or via park and ride. That will also be available.
Yeah, and lastly, the city reminded the public of course, all the construction projects and lane closures that are affecting the downtown areas. So there's just going to be a lot of people there, a lot going on.
You
as
guys
the
will be
Spurs
there.
make
We're
this
going to have both of our newscasts
Yeah.
in the afternoon at the Alamo Dome.
Yeah.
I know traffic might be a nightmare to get there, but it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun.
I just think it's going to be a big old party. That's the way I see it. Big old party.
Why
There's
not?
going to be a pregame party, a fan fiesta, and then a postgame party. They're going to have fireworks after the game as well. So, man, it's just going to get pretty crazy there. And real quick, before we get to weather, the Spurs tweeted out earlier, which Dome memory lives rent-free in your head? And we were talking about, do you have any specific memory?
Of course, there's
Just going?
always going. I mean, yeah. I mean, it was always a good time, but you always have the Memorial Day shot.
That's the one everyone's
And then
answering.
the water
so there is no other
cannons.
answer, and that's the other answer too.
I mean, how
Yeah.
iconic was that to see just that whole section
Yeah,
of people
just completely
drenched in
an
water.
entire section of fans there. Yeah, ironically, that was against Golden State too, and I think that was on opening night.
You know what? Let's just bring out the cannons tomorrow. Why not?
Everyone wants the cannons. And I know David Sears was talking earlier. He said that he chased down Dennis Rodman many times at the Alamo Dome too. So
I'd love to
good
see
memories
that.
there.
I would
Good
love to have
memories
seen David Sears chase.
Well,
That's entertainment.
That is.
Yeah.
It is.
And here's Justin Horn with probably some Cedar bad news.
whoa,
Probably.
very bad news
Probably.
over here.
It's
Dun, dun, dun.
it's been a bad hair day. I'll put it that way with the gusty
Oh,
winds. Although
okay.
RJ's hair doesn't move. But
It is
okay.
moved.
that's for another day.
What are your secrets?
I was gonna say, did you see your little quaff go off there?
No, it's been bad. I mean, the wind's been gusting to like 40 miles per hour. Oh, which brings me to my trivia question here. What is the windiest state in the U.S.? Is it Texas, Nebraska, Michigan, or Alabama?
Okay.
What do you think?
I feel like this is a.
Not Illinois.
Not Illinois. Robert said not Illinois.
Wow. Okay. Robert with the random.
Wherever, whatever state you're from, you're convinced it's the windiest state in the union. Like that's how it
True.
works.
True that. Yeah.
But what do you think?
I'm gonna say Michigan,
Oh, Michigan. Okay.
Okay.
just because of the lakes and stuff like that.
Oh, that's I like
That
the
is very
science. You put
nice.
the science
Very good.
behind it. I
Yeah.
appreciate
Yeah.
that.
So I think this is a
Clearly
trick
wrong.
question. I feel like it
There's
is.
no trick question.
No, you always drop a trick
Like they're always
question
trick
on us.
questions.
You know what? I want to say Nebraska because it's kind of just the flat land there. But
And the
you know what?
plains.
Let's just go with Texas.
Oh,
Texas.
man.
Let's do
okay.
it.
Okay, well, you should have just stuck with your
Oh,
initial
great.
gut feeling. Nebraska's correct.
What?
I'm like 0 for 6 on these.
It's okay.
I'm keeping
It's
track
okay.
this year.
So according to the Department of Energy, the plains, and more specifically Nebraska, have the strongest average annual
sense.
wind speed. But
plains.
when you're talking like Oklahoma, Kansas, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska, they're all right there
Right
in that
there.
range, which is why I didn't put those as other choices. 'Cause
I was trying to be smart
close.
about it.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. You know, and sometimes you think like Florida with hurricanes, but those are such small, specific events. If
Yeah.
you're looking at over a time period,
Makes sense.
it's the plains.
Wait, so you missed that one, right?
I missed that one.
Okay, I missed
We're
it too,
over.
So I'm just keeping tabs
Oh,
Stumped you guys again.
with your trickery,
I try.
your trick questions.
Let's look at the wind. It is gusty here in San Antonio right now, 30 miles per hour. Gusting to 29 officially at the airport. Gusting to 23 at Bernie Stage, 27 Canyon Lake. We had some higher gusts earlier. It's still going to be windy for another couple of hours, but these winds will start to subside as we head into the afternoon. So the wind gust forecast, I think by the time we get into, say, 5, 6 o'clock dinner time, you'll see the winds far less strong. And then tonight, they'll fall into the 5 to 15 mile per hour range. But that'll set the stage for some pretty chilly temperatures by tomorrow morning. Here's the graphic that Erica is, well, I'm kind of scared of her mission to podcast, if I'm being honest.
No. Being bubble
7,190.
wrappers.
That's where we stand.
Live in a bubble for 3 months.
Oh man, and the problem, Erica, is I feel like tomorrow this number's gonna be a little bit higher. I'm not an allergist, I can't say that for sure. Just with the gusty ones today, probably as we head into the peak of mountain cedar season, we're gonna see that number go up. So just a heads up.
Wait, we're heading into the peak?
Yeah, we
This
haven't
has
even
not
gotten
been
there.
the peak?
No, it's not even there yet.
Here's the good news, though, guys. This season, and if you
pretty
read the
mild.
article that Sarah Spivey put out a couple days ago, has not been as bad as previous seasons.
No, there's been times where it's been like, what, like 20, 30,000?
40,000. The highest ever was like 80,000 in 1982.
Yikes.
I'm 92?
82.
Well, I'm glad I wasn't born then, because
Great year.
I would have died that year.
Am I right, RJ? Great
You're
year.
right, man. Great year. Best year
We're
ever.
old.
65 by 2 o'clock. We'll be up around 66 or so by 4 p.m. That's our high temperature, 58 at 7 o'clock. And as we go into tonight, it does get cold. We're expecting temperatures to make it down to around 38 here in San Antonio. There could be some outlying areas that get close to freezing tonight. If we do get down to freezing, it wouldn't be for very long, and it's not going to be a hard freeze. But I do want to let you know that that is a possibility. Here in town, though, we probably stay above that mark. The extended forecast, 65 tomorrow, 67 Saturday, 74 Sunday. Some cold mornings, but it starts to moderate as we get into next week. For the March on Monday, everything looks good. 78 degrees and partly cloudy. Could see a small chance of a shower coming up on Wednesday with a high of 72. And very quickly, I don't know if you guys mentioned this earlier, but happy birthday to David Sears over there.
right.
David
Yeah.
Sears, woo woo,
Yes.
happy
David
birthday.
Sears, happy birthday.
The man, the myth, the legend.
There he is.
Yes.
Well, he'll be on KSAT News Now tomorrow, so we're just going to have
Yeah.
David's story time. Spurs and birthday memories.
We'll have a lot to share, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yes.
David's actually going to be out there, too, tomorrow to cover this game. It's going to be a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. Happy birthday, David.
Thank you, Justin.
Yep.
All right.
Are you a Bad Bunny fan?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, you know, I like a lot of his songs. I wouldn't say I go out and when he drops a new album, like download it right away. But yeah, definitely a fan.
Well, he continues to dominate. He was just announced as one of the headliners for the Coachella Music Festival this
Yes,
spring.
all right. It's Bad Bunny's world again. We're just all living in it. So also headlining are the K-pop group Blackpink and Frank Ocean. Now, I just Googled Blackpink. I didn't know who that was.
I didn't know who that is
I
either.
do know Frank Ocean is.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome singer.
Now, this is the first time since the festival launched in 1999, a Latin and Asian act have headlined the event. So this is big news. Weekend 1 of the festival will take place April 14th through the 16th, and then weekend 2 is April 21st through the 23rd.
Yeah, big deal here as the first Latino headliner there for Bad Bunny. Pretty cool. So pre-sale for tickets begins Friday, and Coachella is saying that weekend 1 stage tickets are already very limited. Yeah, I was just reading that.
I can imagine, like, especially for Bad Bunny. I'm assuming the K-pop group has a big following as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
I could see this selling out pretty quickly.
Yeah. And producer Robert chimes in saying that K-pop fans are obsessive. Are you a K-pop fan, Robert?
I am.
Oh, you
wow.
are?
So are you going to be at Coachella?
He's like, I wish.
We know where you're going to be, April 14th through the
Now,
16th.
this is really interesting because a lot of the times when you see who's coming out in Coachella, it's kind of a preview of who might be coming to Austin City Limits Festival at the end of the
okay.
year. And that gets announced literally around the same time this festival takes place as far as their lineup, which is in October.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. Maybe we'll see Bad Bunny return to Texas.
That would be pretty cool. Of course, when he came to San Antonio, I mean, he
went crazy.
Yeah, pretty wild there, seen at the Alamo Dome, speaking of. So this was interesting. I found this on CNN that other star performers include actor and DJ Idris Elba.
Idris Elba?
Yeah. Do you
Is
know?
it DJ?
Yeah, what?
When did that start? I mean,
Okay, I don't know. That just threw me off.
he's a great actor, but I
He's
didn't
an
know
awesome
he was
actor, yeah, but he's apparently a
DJ.
DJ too. Okay.
I might have to go look into that.
Maybe Idris Elba will be coming to Austin City Limits.
I would go see that. He's a beautiful
I
man.
actually would too. Well, you know what? Wasn't he like one of people's most
Oh,
what is it?
yeah,
Beautiful-
sexiest man alive.
sexiest man. That's
yeah,
right. Yeah,
he's a gorgeous man.
yeah. Idris Elba, good-looking dude. Apparently a DJ as well. He can do
Just
no
adding
wrong.
to the resume.
All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap things up here. Erica, again, Texas Crime Stories.
Yes, and also we have a big court trial coming up next week.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We'll start talking more about that tomorrow. The Andre McDonald trial. We expect that to begin next midweek. So It'll be busy, but you know, it's one of those big trials we've been expecting for a
Yeah,
while.
awesome. And yes, your voice is coming back. You sound a lot
Hopefully
better.
full steam by next week.
Also, real quick, I know I'm just throwing some random shout outs here, but Erica came through with a breakfast taco this morning for me.
And
Thank you
Priscilla
very
got
much.
you coffee.
And Priscilla got me coffee. She
Don't
did come
get
through
used
with
to
the
this.
pistachio coffee. So
Do
thank
not
you very
get
much.
used to this
I know.
at all.
It's a
We
very
don't cater to
lucky morning for me here.
Just got lucky.
Well, thanks again, guys, for hanging out with us on KSAT News Now. We will see you back here tomorrow at 11 a.m.